Yes. Hello, everybody. And I just forgot everything I was about to say. Well, if this is your first time here, I am Blue Shift, and I stream only occasionally. Most of the time, I like to stream special events that happen in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm mostly a YouTuber, so if you want to see all of my shenanigans and the stuff that I do, go over to YouTube, like and subscribe. Like everything, YouTube hates small creators these days. So, today though, I realized that I need to catch up on Hildibrand. And not only that, I really need some laughs today. So, I decided that it was time to catch up on Hildibrand. So, we are here in Solution 9. Gonna pick up the next quest in the chain of Hildibrand quests that have been going on throughout Dawn Trail here. And gonna go ahead and get started. All right. Oh, and this is my Warrior of Light. Oh, lost my mouse. Okay, here we go. And this is Losira. Not Losira, not Lo something else. Losira. He's named for a Star Trek character. You can look that up for yourself, though. Okay, let's get this thing started. All right, let's see what Hardy Boyle has to say for us. A need for speed.
Losira, I was hoping you'd drop by. It took a bit of doing, but I was able to widen the crack I made in that storage device and yank out a couple more scraps of data. The first file just so happened to be a record of Carnelian's procedure. Seems that bastard soul was poured into one of those clot-type monsters. They've got an annoying talent for mimicking shapes and faces, which is exactly what Carnelian took advantage of when he tricked us with his fake Kimaka.
Never fear, Inspector Hildibrand is here.
The other file I pulled had details on yet another monster-fied criminal. This mook was nabbed for repeated vehicular violations, riding his air-wheeler too fast, making reckless maneuvers, endangering others, that sort of thing. According to the data, he's running around the body of a cactuar now. Judging by what we've seen of that researcher's schemes, he'll have dispatched a prickly speed demon somewhere outside the dome. But where?
Rejoice, my good detective, for I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, come bearing the very direction you seek. I have it straight from the mouth of the real Kimaka that an ambulatory cactus piloting a flying contraption was supposedly observed streaking through the sky on a southerly bearing. Alas, despite hastening to confirm this sighting, our intrepid sheriff arrived too late to see the needle-covered individual in question. The report was summarily dismissed as fanciful imaginings of inebriated townsfolk. The insistent chirp of veteran instinct nonetheless impelled me to investigate. Thus did my faithful assistant and I venture further south to question the colorful crowds of Tuliyodal. Tuliyodal! Get it right.
Yes. There to find sober witnesses eager to tell of an airborne succulent.
They said it was moving at an incredible pace, Isn't that astride a vehicle like the ones the mechanical invaders had ridden? It was last seen zipping past the dirigible before vanishing into the clouds to the south.
Alexandria soldiers ride on air readers, so unless there's another flying cactuar out there somewhere, I think we have our man. Good work. Almost too good, in fact. Over there. Is that a new case I spy? Hardly had to bait the hook. They're the real deal, all right. Although, come think of it, I don't know why anyone would bother impersonating either of them to begin with. At least the lead seems solid enough. But if we're serious about catching this guy, we'll need an air wheeler of our own. Come on, there's a shop nearby that does custom jobs.
All right, let's go find this shop. Oh, I could go for a nice bowl of custard. Did he say they do custard jobs?
This is the place. I used to be a regular here, but I ain't been back in a while. Let's see if they still remember me.
Well, well, look who the wind blew in.
Mono, I've come for my steed.
That battered old scrap heap. It's been rusting on my garage floor for so long, I doubt it could imagine a slow trot, let alone a gallop. Happy to give it a tune-up if you credits to burn, but I'll need you to supply some parts. A new high-voltage battery, and superconductor coil at minimum.
The chronometer's ticking. I'll see if I can get my hands on a battery. Can I ask you to track down the coil? These soft-boiled dopes wouldn't know a suspension spring from an anti-gravity gimbal, but you, I can trust to find the right part without cracking under the pressure.
I'm on it, Detective. Hardboiled seems desperate to get his air wheeler up and running, so I'll give you a tip. You want a coil quick light? Then salvaging the rides of defective sentries is your best bet. I'll even lend you this handy gadget to help you out. Set off the distress signal on the west side of Old Alexandria, and you'll soon have some murderous mechanical company to dismantle for parts. Sounds like fun.
I'll take these two along with me on the battery hunt. Good luck out there.
let's see. Am I gonna get to do some fighting in this? Okay. I gotta go out right now. Let's go. Side quests I haven't done. Okay. This new mount is a hoot. Let's see, where we go? Ah, there we go. Riding in style. Hello, chatter. Okay, let's see. We are hot on the trail of superconductor coils. All right, let's get off of this thing. Okay, let's see. I need to use this distress beacon. So, let's turn it on. Oops. Doggone it. Alright. Do that. Alright, fighting. Let's go. What? Is that it? That's all the fight I get? Oh, jeez. Okay, we got our coil. So we need to go back to solution 9. Okay, let's see. We need to go back. My reminder that I need to do Arcadian stuff too. Okay, okay. Let's see. Alright, let's deliver this coil. Well, get your hands on the coil. Here you go. Aye, that should do the trick. Now, where did your mates run off to? Can't be that hard to find a store that sells batteries. You should probably head over to the Nexus arcade and see what's keeping them. Alright, sure thing. Okay, let's see. From here. There we go. Okay, let's see now. We got... Look around. There's Hardy Boyle. Oh boy, the wonders of technology. The wonders of technology. Okay, let's go talk to Hardy Boyle.
Losira, any trouble picking up that coil? Nothing you couldn't handle, I'll wager. As for the battery, I bought one easily enough. The problem was convincing the inspector and his gal to stick around after he caught a whiff of tantalizing familiarity. Long story short, they wandered off and haven't come back. Suppose we ought to go look for them, eh? Is that a corpse? A smiling corpse?
Ha 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 ha, you needn't fret, detective. This dapper zombie is an old acquaintance of mine. Allow me to introduce myself, good sir. I am a proud member of the Gentle Dead Men and disciple of Master Hildibrand. I have been on the road seeking out new recruits for our merry moldering band. Said search is what brought me here, and into the midst of this unexpected but most welcome reunion.
I don't usually hold with necromancy, but he seems harmless enough. So, you're done catching up. We got a case to work on.
In fact, our conversation was almost entirely case adjacent. Employing his nose for festering fellows, this gentle zombie traced the stench of necromantic decay to the very facility in which I once slumbered. Yes, I became fast friends with one of the reanimated researchers there. During the process of getting to know each other, he spoke briefly of the only person left alive after the incident. According to my new charnel chum, all the lab workers perished when an accident resulted in leakage of highly toxic substance. All that is save for a single man who habitually wore a protective gas mask. Keshkayi is his name. He was second in charge after the overseer himself, yet disdained by his peers as a condescending know-it-all. They did, however, grudgingly recognize his passion for his work. Even after devoting a full day to official experiments, he would pour his remaining time and energy into some mysterious side project.
And he was the sole surviving researcher, you say? Sounds like we finally have the name for our mastermind. Courtesy of the shambling undead, no less. No matter how many years I do this job. Well, thanks for that.
Glad to be of service. Now, if you'll excuse me, my new recruit and I have a cafe tour planned. He is so polite. A gentle undead man.
So, that fellow was an honest-to-God's walking corpse, huh? I've met weird folks in my line of work, but do you always keep company with such oddballs?
Kinda.
That was out of line. It's just, I reckon there are forces in this world you're better off not messing with. Anyway, let me take these parts back to Monom and get my wheeler repaired. Shouldn't take too long. I'll ride him back here to make sure he's running smoothly, and you can see the magnificent beast in all his glory.
Okay. Oh, I almost didn't notice him. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. What are we doing? Oh, yeah. Oh. All right, let's go. Let's see what Nash has to say. Our gentle zombie friend was as reanimated as ever. Detective Hardyboyle seemed somewhat nervous, excited to reclaim his pride and joy, perhaps? car! Would you look at that?
What do you think, Losira? I call him Night Stallion. He's a custom job built for yours truly and has far too much horsepower for the average mook to handle. Anti-gravity capabilities are standard, but when it comes to ground speed, he's been tweaked to achieve the highest possible performance. The trick is to install quick heating motor coils. But won't the increased heat compromise magnetic field's integrity, you ask? While that's a valid concern, a hotter drivetrain responds completely differently when you open up the throttle and... You, get those filthy hands off my ride.
I merely thought to enhance your beloved steed with a touch of Salamanderville. So you've had this amazing machine this whole time? Why haven't you been riding it until now?
Ah, so fresh-faced and innocent. Spitting image of my assistant. I'll never forget the day I hung up my spurs. It was right after I'd caught Carnelian. I'd been simmering in thoughts of vengeance, fit to burst my shell at any moment. The big house is too good for the likes of the Crime King. See you in hell, your majesty.
Should have pulled the trigger when you had the chance. You've gone soft, Hardy Boyle. This flashback exceeds the legal limit. Laced with illicit embellishments, no doubt. Wrap it up, Gumshoe.
To cut to the chase, my assistant was avenged. Slinging the Crime King into the slammer took me off the boil. The riding cold just ain't my style. But now that Carvelian's on the streets again, it's time for me to get back in the saddle. They were saying that the Cactuar punk flew over Thule or whatever, then blew past the dirigible on his way south, right? What kind of territory are we looking at?
Let me tell you all about it.
Lots of big trees, are there? And let's make this Yaktel's dirigible landing our starting point. I'll take Night Stallion and meet you there.
And there's our need for speed. All right, that was a pretty cool flashback. All right, let's keep going. I wish I had a shiny air wheeler like the detective. I'd finally be able to keep up with the inspector. Meteorites and Meteor-wrongs. Let's go. Right. We shall find our way to this cocktail dirigible landing. See you there. I'm pretty sure it was Yak's tail, Inspector. Okay, Yaktel. Let's go. Oh man, it is raining here. I haven't been here in a long time. Okay, test a few things. Sailing through the air is a lovely way to travel. That was my first time aboard a dirigible. It's not so different from an airship, if said airship had jettisoned its own means of propulsion.
Ah, you made it. Even this jaded old gumshoe had to appreciate that view coming in over the treetops. Anyway, I talked to the locals while waiting for you lot to arrive. One fellow had seen Mr. Cactuar flying down to the lower forest. I'm told the biggest place out of the way is a settlement called Mamook. So that'll be our first destination. Let's head over there, walk the streets, ask some questions, you know, the usual.
Very good, Detective. But what's become of your wondrous wheeler?
Night Stallion would draw more attention than I'd like. I'll use the autopilot function to call him if I need him, but otherwise I'll make do with my own 2 feet.
Okay, I think we're going to Mamook. Yep, let's go to Mamook. Let's see. That direction. As much as I like the little Moogle for floating around, I think I'm gonna switch to my favorite. My trusty doggo. Oh, they were right here. Okay. Goodbye, doggo. Car, it's awfully dark here beneath the canopy. Such a dense proliferation of forest giants. I am reminded of the 12-foot.
That must be Mamook. They build things different down here, huh? But we ain't got time to admire the architecture. Spread out and find someone who's clapped eyes on that cactuar.
Okay, let's see, where we going? We have several ways to go. We're gonna go out and we're gonna ask some questions. All right, onward. This isn't what I want. Oh, shoot. I didn't realize I had so many side quests over here. Here I go getting lost in Mamook again. Use my Here we go. That's Dr. Marielja. Have you seen some stuff? Yes, I encountered the fiend you described. The forest has its share of fantastical creatures, but this one was undeniably out of place. I observed it smashing one of the giant meteorites with a club, then racing away with the broken pieces. Make of that what you will. Thanks, Murielja. Okay, let's get the dog. Alright, Bakulja, what do you got for us? Did you see some stuff? Ah, the subject of recent gossip. Crossed paths with the creature myself. And it was indeed odd, but the machine it rode upon was the true one. He pulled up alongside me and my weaver, challenged us to a race, then zoomed off with astounding swiftness. If you're planning to catch that being, you'll need an equally miraculous mount. Thanks, Bakulja. Let's see what Leonelja has to say. Hey, Leonelja, did you see some stuff? Well, yes, I did see an unusual creature riding a strange vehicle through the forest at breakneck speeds. The vehicle's terrible noise is what first drew my attention, followed by the incomprehensible yelling of its pilot. Yet the sight of this posturing man-plant was so absurd I found myself more bemused than frightened. Okay. Thank you, Linnell-chan. Alright, back to Hardy Boil.
So, what's the rap?
People saw stuff. The testimonies I gathered were very much the same. There's a cactuar racing around out there. That much can be certain.
But if he's making stops to bag meteorite fragments, this ain't no simple joyride. Talk to me, Losira. Something about those rocks I ought to know.
Let me tell you about those rocks.
Some kind of special etheric radiation, eh? We haven't pieced together Keshkai's big plan yet, but he seems real interested in those space stones. Which means we've got a good chance of finding his spiky goon by staking out the spots where the meteorites are. If we nab the cactuar, we can make him lead us to the researcher and the Carnelian. When I say us, I mean you, me, and Night Stallion, of course. Once we find him, the rest of you won't be given chase without an air-wheeler.
I need no such contrivance. These legs have been conditioned by an intensive chocobo-bearing exercise regimen.
Well, good luck to them. Still think he's a weak-willed punk, but I can't deny that uncanny body of his is made of sterner stuff. Let's get on with it then. I hear there's a few good-sized meteorites alongside the road that leads out of town. We'll start at the near end and hope the Mook puts in an appearance.
Okay, let's see where we're going. Okay, out there. Who knew meteorites were so big or bumpy? Fancy meeting you here. I too deduced that this might very well be the scene of our criminal's next crime.
Is that clumsy oaf trying to hide? No real or riding cactuar around here. Let's move on. That idiot inspector. Took off like he had the case all sewn up. But running fast didn't find many leads, did it? And here I thought he was on to something.
That way, Nashu. I think we may be on to something. And I shall follow. Is it almost time to eat? If you could endure but a little while longer, Nashu.
Is that dope trying to keep out of sight or not? No sign of a mirror either. On to the next meteorite.
I detect a hint of criminality. In that direction, onwards, Nashu. We mustn't let the detective beat us to the punch. Onward. travel tacos. I say, these bananas are really quite good.
I could murder an egg right about now. Look out and stand aside, or 1,000 needles be in your hide. Make way for my unmatchable, uncatchable spite. This one looks right for the smashing. Oh, they're right there. I'm gonna need you to hop off that air wheeler. Huh? Ah, you must be the blowhards I was warned about. Think you can give orders to the suckling speedster? My ride is maxed out with black market mods, and there ain't no one faster. Keep up if you can, slowpokes. If that's the way it's gotta be, challenge accepted. To me, Night Stallion, it's time to burn rubber.
I'm right behind you. And I'm right behind you, Inspector.
Yeah! Damn it, the stallion's at full gallop and I'm still trailing.
It would seem you require my assistance after all.
What, you caught up with me on foot? What are you? Fine, change of plans. Where's my damn python?
I'll just tweak the weapon's elemental settings like so. With you steering and me providing the thrust, that fiend will soon learn a harsh lesson.
Nothing outruns a fired up Manderville, man.
Let's go.
Are you actually gaining on me? Come on then, I feel the need for speed. We did it! Victory is ours! I can't believe it. My undefeated record, my legendary win streak, it's over. And yet, I feel strangely content. Enough. You win. Just hand me over to the coppers and be done with it. So, the researcher forced you to work for him, like he did with the other fiends. That's right. Told me to smash and grab meteorites from the forest, but not what he wanted them for. All this way to nab some delinquent goon and no leads to Kashkai or Cornelian to show for it. Not to mention my beautiful ride getting trashed. That one's on you, Hildibrand. Perhaps we can try running together next time. Oh, if you're looking for Kish K, I know exactly where he be, waiting for my meteorite delivery over by the cliffs southwest of here. Why didn't you say that sooner? I bet Cornelian is there with him. He won't escape me this time. I'll leave this criminal cactuar in your custody. Fiendish appearance aside, 'tis a man's soul within, so please treat him accordingly. Now, let us follow the detective through these cliffs, shall we? I must ensure these villains are served a gentleman's justice. Okay. This little guy again. And the bug.
full belly, happy heart. He seems to be having some dreams. Okay. Do you smell it? The scent of criminality is in the air.
I hear them just up ahead. Let me get the drop on them before we all go barging in. He's late. We must assume something went wrong. These meteorites will provide the perfect energy source, and I would prefer to harvest the surplus. But it is too great a risk to linger here. Freeze, mage! You so much as twitch your lips, I'll light you up. No, we've worked too hard to give up now.
He's getting away.
You'll keep. I've got the one I want. But don't think I'm taking you in just so you can escape. Never again.
Murder is not the answer, Detective.
Where did Carnelian go?
You almost had me, if not for this bumbling fool you tolerate, soft as ever.
You and me are done, Hildibrand. Stay out of my way.
My recent inadequacies as an inspector appear to have earned the detective's ire. It was you he turned to for assistance in this case, Losira. It is only fitting that you remain at his side for the duration. Sure thing. Meanwhile, Nashu and I shall persist with our independent inquiries. Okay, we're back to Solution 9. Let's see what Hardy Boiled has for us here.
Sorry for the sudden exit back there, but that yolk for brains had me steaming.
Hildibrand only wants to help.
That's the problem. His help ain't nothing but a hindrance. For the love of... I see you skulking over there, soft boil.
Isn't it a delightful spot of serendipity? We were simply following the villain's trail, and look how we all run into each other, completely by chance. Well, we're only passing through after all. We shall apprehend that mass mastermind with our own tried and true methodology. You shall see.
Losira, I want you on the case with me from here on out. When it comes to a proper guide beyond the dome, as well as being tougher than yours truly, no one else fits the bill. You might need to cool your heels for a bit while I work on salvaging some more data. But Hardy Boy always gets his files in the end. See you around.
Meanwhile, elsewhere.
At long last, my scheme is to come to fruition. No longer must I endure the company of incompetent colleagues. All is in readiness. The replication of my brilliant mind is at hand. Never again will I be known as the Caniloca Corpus's second best. My name shall ring across the lands, carried far and wide by an army of unrivaled geniuses. Something amusing?
Oh, just the fact that you repaired a device capable of miracles, yet your plans for it so far so very banal.
You dare to mock me?
What a bore he was. Now to realize a dream worthy of this marvelous technology.
Detective Hardy Boyle, they call me. Cool and tough as a cucumber wrapped in old leather. I'm a man who prefers his own company. Today's egg was overdone. I let the pot boil and boil, a match to my mood. They say you can't make a cracked shell whole again. Maybe it's time I smashed it completely.
Core, those are some troubling thoughts. Can anyone save Detective Hardy Boyle from himself? I bet the inspector can. With us on the case, a happy ending is never far away. Hey, Angel. Sorry it's so hot out there. It's not too bad here today. Okay. Let's see. What do? Well, I hope that goes okay. And that you don't have to be out in the hot weather too long. I gotta decide whether to pick up this next quest and keep going or not. Oh man. Oh, it's this weekend. Oh cool. Have fun. Oh, keep going. Okay. Let's see. Just need to take a quick bio break. I will be right back. And we're back. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this next part started. I think that this is the last part of the expansion. So, let's go. Detecting a lead.
Losira, eager to get back to work, I see. I reconstructed the remaining files, but found no more records of monster-fied criminals, so I reckon we're clear on that front. What the last of the data did contain, though, was plans for repairing some kind of fancy-schmancy duplication device. It said it was discovered aboard a flying vessel of unknown origin. The description of which damn near perfectly matches the shiny disc our imbecile inspector crash-landed over near Yawata. So now I'm wondering, what's a gadget on a ship like that used to duplicate?
Well, let me tell you.
Anything? Even people? Oh, that ain't good. See, the files mention 3 critical materials: electrope, ceruleum, and meteorites. Sound familiar? That's the same stuff our fugitives already nicked. They got what they needed to fix the device, and I'm sweating bullets imagining what they mean to do with it. Problem is, we've squeezed those salvage files dry of every last juicy lead. Can't even begin to guess where Kishkai and Carnelian might be holed up. For all we know, they've already moved on to the next step of their diabolical scheme. It's time we pumped a new source of information, and I know just the nosy bugger that'll do. Let's pay a visit to Maimond.
All right, Inspector, I'm with you. I see someone else is with us, too. You may recall my mere presence seemed to anger the detective whom last our crafts crossed. So, we've taken to disguising ourselves as ordinary citizens. Our independent investigation otherwise continues unabated. Nashu has, in fact, identified a new potential avenue of inquiry. I noticed that there's an Ogalop that never strays far from Detective Partyboy's side. I suspect this persistent insect is much more than it appears. I share your suspicions. We could be dealing with another creature possessed of a transferred criminal soul. Mayhaps it's been sent to spy on the detective. But it doesn't feel like spying, more like it's watching over him. Whatever the Ogalop's intentions, we must continue to surveil this ever-present surveiller. It may prove critical to cracking the case. Okay, let's go find Maimon. Okay, laziness. Seeing how concerned the Oglop is for the detective makes me feel all warm inside.
You can see it in the Oglop's beady eyes, the intensity that surely marks a dedicated spy. I'm worried Kishke's already hatched his master plan, but let's not mourn our own chickens before they've heard what Minon has to say.
Back again? What can I do for you this time?
Got an odd question for you.
This and that.
This and that.
A device that can duplicate anything, you say, eh?
In the wrong hands, could lead to all kinds of mischief.
I haven't heard a peep about alien gadgets, but there was something else that might interest you. Rumor has it some half-dead bloke dressed like a lab worker was rescued out and heritage found.
You reckon that could be our villain, Kishke?
Could be. You'd have to talk to Cersei the hunter, who found the poor bugger. Apparently, he brought him back to his home in the outskirts.
If this half-dead lab rat is who we think it is, then I wonder if Carnelian must have... Thanks for the tip, Maimon. Well, partner, looks like we're headed to the outskirts. Let's find this Cersei fella.
And we shall follow wheresoever the Oglop leads us. Okay, we need to go to the outskirts. One more word with my mother. Last I heard, that lab worker was still laid up at Cersei's house in the outskirts. Oh, and you know the detective's older twin is stalking you, right? If he's trying to stay out of sight, he's doing a terrible job of it. Thanks, Maimon. Okay, to the outskirts. It's been a while since I was here, too. Let's see. Oh, I see. Must be in here. That's what happens when you mess with stuff you don't have any business messing with. I'm sure he'll be fine. Did you see that darling little buggy behind? It's so round and shiny. What chicanery is that insect plotting? Mayhap it has designs upon the detective's beloved eggs? Probably not. Okay, what's it in here? Oh, there he is.
This is the hunter we're looking for. Now to see what he knows about this injured house guest. Ah, of course. I'd be happy to share the tale. I was calling monsters on the fringes of Everkeep when an airwheeler wobbling through the skies caught my attention. So erratic was the flight path that I half expected it to crash into the ground, which it did not far from where I was standing. I ran over to see a man crawl free from the wreckage and collapse, his mask and gloves marking him as a lab technician of some kind. Though the airwheeler hadn't exploded or burst into flames, he looked terribly burned. I was able to rush him home and administer treatment before he succumbed to his injuries, but the potent medicines have put him in a deep slumber, so I'm afraid he is in no state to answer questions. As for his name, I found an identification card tucked into one of his pockets. Assuming it belonged to him, the man is Keshkai, a researcher from a local facility. That figures. And those burns, knowing Carnelian's preference for fire magics, I'd wager a dozen hard-boiled eggs that he's to blame. Amuk-Dub the Crime King is not the type to play loyal henchman for long. Probably turned on his boss and took over the whole operation. We'll have to wait until Keshkai wakes up to get the whole story. But in the meantime, I'd rather be doing something useful. I say we head outside and consider our options. I appreciate you sharing, Cersei. Keshkai is a criminal involved in a case we're investigating, so we'll be imposing on your hospitality again soon. A criminal, you say? Well, he won't be committing any crimes in his condition. I'll be sure to get word to you once he's fit enough for you to interrogate. I feared the man had his secrets, but didn't expect him to be a hardened criminal. In any case, I'll let the detective know as soon as this Keshkai awakens. Thank you. I doubt Carnelian would have humored his boss for so long unless he had an endgame in mind. And considering his betrayal came just as they'd acquired everything needed to fix the duplication gadget.
He was probably after the device all along.
That's what I'm thinking. But assuming we're right, what does he mean to use it for? Well, we can work on answering that question while Keshkai is still in Dreamland. There's an old pal of Carnelian's who might have an insight or two. Was part of his gang back in the day, but insists she's on the straight and narrow now, working as a fortune teller out of a shop in Solution 9. Zeralia, the girl on the front desk, handles all her appointments.
Quickly, quickly, let us not lose sight of the oglop. Okay, back to solution 9. Teensy, cutesy oglop. It's in the palm of your hand. Okay, hang on just a sec. Okay, let's see what Hildibrand has to say. Where is that four-legged skulker scurrying off to?
This is the shop I was telling you about. Thorelli here ought to wave us through.
This establishment caters to the lost souls seeking their true path. Due to high demand, however, I'm afraid we're completely booked for the coming months.
We're not interested in your dubious divinations. You just tell old Kasia that Hardy Boyle is here to see her.
Very well. One moment, please.
What do you want, hardhead? I paid my debt to society. You're interfering with the legitimate business of an upstanding citizen. Says the woman who was Carnelian's most prized sorceress charlatan. I'll wager the only fortune to be found here is the one you're making off of gullible marks.
Don't you dare lump me in with that double-crossing snake. It was his fault I went to prison, and I've been done with that underworld ever since. My establishment is entirely above board.
All right, don't get your robes in a twist. It's Carnelian I want to ask about anyhow. I'll spare you the whole messy story, but let's get down to brass tacks. Imagine there's a gizmo that can replicate any person or object in the world. What do you reckon a no-good crook like Carnelian would do if he got his hands on something like that?
What kind of addle-brained, How should I know? The only thing Carnelian ever wanted was power, and no matter how much he got, it was never enough. Seems his ancestor, the one they called the Lich, created the ultimate spell, and it eats him up that he's never had the arcane strength to cast it.
An ancestral spell he hasn't the juice for, huh? But how would a duplication gizmo help him with that?
Not my area of expertise, though I suppose you could search the public database to read up on the Lich, if you're so inclined.
Fair enough. We'll try our luck with the terminals in the commerce sector. Much obliged, Kasia.
Okay, where are we off to now? That's it. I am a shrubbery. I am a topiary of inquiry, the decorative foliage extraordinaire. Okay.
These terminals are connected to Alexander's public database, so you can use them to learn all sorts of neat stuff. I'll see what I can dig up on this Lich character. Meanwhile, reckon you could look into what makes clots so special. Keshke's other flunkies didn't get a choice of monster, but when it came to Carnelian, seems the Crime King specifically requested the clots as a vessel for his soul. I figured he was keen on their powers of mimicry, but now I'm wondering if there was something more. Anyway, see what you can find.
Okay, we have some instructions here. With the chat mode and say, use your keyboard or software keyboard to enter the search term clots at the commerce sector terminal. Data terminal. Okay. enter too much. Sometimes they let you get away with it. The terminal monitor displays an entry on the monsters known as clots. Clots. These amorphous organisms inhabit dense jungle environments and demonstrate an extraordinary capability for physical mimicry. When threatened, the clot will either mirror the threat itself or adopt a more intimidating form. Clots can also fuse with others of their species, and there are recorded cases of multiple clots merging into a single gigantic entity possessed of immense magical power. Okay, so that's clots, eh?
Well, no surprises from the bloodline that produced a maniac like Cornelian. Turns out this Lich guy is a real piece of work. The entry I read said he used sorcery to raise and bind the dead to his will, and created an unstoppable spell that would immediately snuff out the life of any target. Oh, and that he also used necromancy to turn himself into a living corpse. This allowed him to keep amassing dark powers over a period far beyond a normal person's lifespan, which was the thing that earned him the Lich moniker. Too many years of nefarious undeading, though, and the people came together to off him permanently. You know, Noishu, my assistant, was killed by a spell I'd never seen before, and I reckon Cornelian took a page from his ancestors' book of necromancy to animate those poor bastards at the Keniloka Corpus. How did your research go, by the way? Learn anything useful?
I learned all about clots.
So, multiple clots can merge together to make one humongous blob that wields all their magical power combined. That explains everything. Cornelia means to create a bunch of Crime King copies and fuse into one big murderous mook. Well, you and me are gonna wreck those plans and avenge Norishu's death once and for all.
Do you want to loop Hildibrand in on this?
Yeah, I've seen him hanging around like a bad smell. But when it comes to exacting vengeance, that well-meaning dope will only get in the way. And besides, Cornelian is more dangerous than he's ever been. I won't give him the chance to hurt anyone else. Why are you so bullheaded about me being pals with the inspector anyway?
I think you guys share the same soul.
You saying we're like two of a kind? Yeah, I don't see it. Still, there's always been something weirdly familiar about that guy. Yeah? What you got? Uh-huh. Alright. Be there soon. That was Cersei telling us to come over. Keshkage woken up.
I've been thinking, Losira, what if the Alglock we keep seeing is actually Norishu? When the detective was talking about his assistant, I swear that insect had the saddest look on its little face. Come now, Nashu. You heard as well as I did she perished by Carnelian's hand. But what if instead of dying, her soul was shunted into an Oglop body in the same way the fugitives were stuffed into fiendish forms? I suppose that's possible. Nashu does have an uncanny sense for such things. Mayhap we should not dismiss the idea out of hand. Were we to explore the possibility, we might begin by chatting with the researcher Zombie, whom my gentle dead man acquaintance befriended. Pray continue your investigation alongside Detective Hardyboyle, and we shall contact you the moment we learn aught of substance. Cool, I am getting some ideas. Yeah. Okay, I need to calm down. Back to the outskirts. Okay, let's try again.
You're late, Chief. Get lost on the way, or what? This case is promising an explosive end, and I'd hate for you to miss it.
Okay. Let's see, I guess this is gonna be the last segment. Let's go. Clotted Crime. Hardyboyle's eyes are alight with anticipation, nose full of the scent of his quarry. Let's go.
Right. Let's head inside and hear what Keshke has to say for himself. Well, Mastermind, what happened to you?
The duplication device was restored. I had all that I required to build my genius army. But mere moments before I began to replicate my brilliant self en masse, that damnable cur burned a hand and freed him. Feared as I was by Carnelian's sorcery, it was a miracle I managed to escape it all. But of my ambitions, naught survives but smoke and ashes. I want you to make him pay. You'll find the device in a hidden lab on the lowest level of the Penelope Corpus. If Carnelian's aim is mass self-replication, then that is where he must be. It will take time for the alien technology to do its work. Trying to tame a vicious breed like the Crime King was a gamble, and you lost. But lucky for you, I was planning to bring him down anyway. Looks like I called how things played out, more or less.
Didn't twig that carnelian would hole up in the lab right beneath our noses, though. Hand this sorry sod over to the authorities as soon as he's able to walk. Might put up a fight, but I doubt he'll be much of a challenge for a strapping hunter like yourself. He's welcome to try. Don't worry, I'll be sure to see him into custody. We know where Carnelian is now, and I'm ready to charge in, guns blazing. First, I want to pay my respects to Norishu's grave. While burying the dead isn't the custom in Alexandria, Norishu and I were never comfortable with the whole regulator deal. I'd be damned if I was going to forget, and putting her to rest was my way of honoring her memory. Night Stallion's been in the shop, so I'll head over and pick him up. Go on ahead to the name slates, and I'll meet you there.
Sure thing. Your progress through the battle will be saved at certain points. In the event that you are defeated, you will be able to try again from the most recent of these. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, this progress will be lost. Alright. Battle content. Let's go. Time to fight. Surprise, it's me again. Got a letter here for you from the detective. Right, that's my business done. Time to go and pry into someone else's. Thank you.
Sorry for the change of plans, Losira, but I need to handle Carnelian alone. You've helped me out time and again, and I ain't letting you risk your life for my personal vendetta. I'll put the Crime King in the ground where he belongs. You just sit tight and wait for the good news.
Losira! Hey, Losira! We've learned the most astonishing fact. The new researcher recruit of our gentle dead friend here spoke of a lady he had seen in the lowest level of the Kaniloka corpus, a lady who could very well be Norishu. She lies unmoving within a capsule of some kind, looking as if she but dreams in peaceful slumber. We then made it at once for Circe's house to demand the truth from Kishki. The villain soon folded beneath my expert interrogation and admitted to transferring Norishu's soul from her captive vessel into an Oglop shell. Where is Detective Hardyboyle, by the way? I want so badly to let him know his assistant is alive and well. Well, mostly. Tell me more. What the heck is going on here? Seeking vengeance on his own, you say? This calls for utmost haste. Wait for me, Inspector. We should shamble along as well. Right. Meanwhile, in the hidden depths of Kaniloka Corpus,
Now that's a sickening sight. One bloodstained crime king was already too much.
I don't recall sending you an invitation, Hardyboyle. But no matter, I am afforded the chance to test my newfound strength.
Oof. The dames might have called you handsome once, but you might want to check in a mirror.
I can feel it surging through me. Deny unlimited power. Behold the majestic form of the Lich. Let us begin with a demonstration of my ancestors' dominion over the undead.
Great, this keeps getting creepier.
During this battle, you will be fighting as Detective Hardyboyle and gain access to special dodge action. With the proper timing, you can use Molting Python to avoid taking damage, even if you are within the area of an enemy's attack. Certain enemy attacks will be preceded by a countdown icon. When this countdown progresses to the Molting Python icon, quickly use the Molting Python action. and living minions tear that man apart. Let us remember to always comport ourselves in a gentlemanly manner, everyone. What just happened? Forcing on zombie brethren to act against their will is simply unconscionable. Whilst I do not condone violence, this situation appears beyond a peaceful resolution. Allow me to assist.
Soft-boiled savior in hell. Thanks, pal.
You dare interfere? I'll kill you both. Okay, try it again. Hildibrand to the rescue. Once again. Okay, here we go. I'm an idiot. Let's do it again. Oh, man. Okay, that's enough of that. My shame. Okay, let's see what easy looks like. fine handshake. Oh boy. No mortal can withstand such power.
Violence is not the answer. Yeah, there's one tough egg, and I reckon it could use that ether. Hildibrand, give me all the juice you got.
Horse detective, our moment has come.
This one's from Losira.
Hold your fire, detective. Your assistant is alive.
What did you say?
I warned you about being soft, hardy-boiled. Will you ever, never learn? I'd wanted to save such exquisite magecraft for more fitting victims, but now you clods will witness the ultimate spell firsthand. With unholy power drawn from darkest abyss, I shall sever soul from corporeal anchor. Death! Inspector!
Hildibrand!
Oh, I've died. How unmandervillian of me.
Bah, I've slain the dolt instead. Though I'm glad to be rid of most bothersome gnat. Is that Hildibrand's ghost?
Oh, such bittersweet sorrow. A soul should dissipate soon after leaving the flesh. But lo, our resilient zombie overlord endures in spectral form.
Hello? This battle isn't over.
Even with your entire entourage of fools, you cannot contest our power combined. Master Zombibrand's spiritual essence has merged with Master Hardyboyle's physical form. It's brilliant. It's blinding. It's a pure gold soul. This changes nothing. Hardyboyles, it cannot be. Hardyboyle is not here right now. You can call us Hildibrand, and your goose is cooked. My dear fellow. No evil can withstand against the giant golden Manderville man. Yeah, you've learned the truth of it. Your precious Noir shoe never really died. Kishkari needed a subject for his soul transference experiments, and the task of procuring the victim fell to me. Your name, Hardyboyle, was at the top of my hit list. I drew upon ancestral sorcery to cast you into a death-like sleep for ease of delivery, you understand. But then your meddling assistant threw herself into the spell's path, and I was forced to settle for her instead. I had to dig up Warshu's corpse following the burial, then prefer her to Kishaki in place of your sorry hide, though it was that her soul ended up in that insect vessel. You bastard! You did that knowing how much I hate Oglops? Now, let us remain civilized. The process is entirely reversible. Oh dear, my apologies, but I feel the draw of an irresistible force. Oh, that's right, Master Zombibrand has died, and to his untethered soul comes the call. See you on the other side, my friends. Don't leave me behind, Inspector. Look, his body's still breathing. We gotta drag that soft-boiled soul back. I smote that simpleton with enough ultimate death magic to kill him 10 times over. There is no coming back. think we knew it would come to this, but still. Are you ready? You too. Here we go.
Whoa, hey now, don't tell me you've gone and cracked.
Oh, I see. Thanks to that stirring performance by my adventuring associate, I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, have returned to life and am back on the case. But you can't! It's not possible!
Yeah, toughest guy I ever saw. Now, what was that about fixing your shoe? You can really get her back to normal?
Your assistant's recumbent form is being held within this very facility. We need but extract her soul from the Oglop and reunite it with her original body. I had Kishkei provide me with the step-by-step procedure for operating the transference apparatus. It should pose no great difficulty to restore Mistress Noirshoe ourselves.
The rest of us should have waited at the entrance then.
Wow, what a ride that was. The inspector is unstoppable. Even the ultimate death magic failed to slay him. Never mind those other fiends. That dope was the true monster.
You know what? Stinks in here. Let's head outside.
Detective Hardyboyle.
Hey, Dollface. You're looking good.
Hi, I'm Nourisha. Thank you ever so much for putting me back in my own body. The resemblance to Nashu is, as you say, uncanny.
Right. Like peas in a pod, I tell you. Right. I've had my fill of musty old labs. Time to blow this joint. Hey, who said you could ride the stallion?
Surely one's fused fellows such as ourselves are above cursory formalities such as asking for permission. Whoa!
Watch that lightning. The chassis can't take a direct hit.
Wait for me, Inspector. Gosh, that looks dangerous.
He'll be fine. It's Night Stallion I'm worried about. I just got him repaired.
How did I lose to such idiots? Am I dreaming? Surely this is a nightmare.
I'll deliver Mr. Lots of Clots here to the Tin Men. You can head back with Nourisha to my place in Solution 9.
And I shall re-enter the facility to recruit from the remaining zombies. I bid you gentle people good day. Wow, what a ride. Go talk to your shoe. Your shoe. This really kind of surprised me. I was not expecting her to be here rather than Mikote. Okay, let's go. Behind that rubbish receptacle is where I would hide to keep watch over the detective. It was surprisingly fun living as an Oglop, but boy am I glad to be back in my own body.
That makes two of us. Couldn't imagine having one of those creepers as an assistant. I went and handed Carnelian over to the authorities. They'll restore him and all his monstrous pals to their original mook selves, then toss them in the slammer. In other words, that's all she wrote on the case of the fiendish fugitives. You're a handy gal to have around, Losira. As thanks for sticking with me through thick and thin, I made you a replica of Night Stallion. Doesn't have the same customizations, but it still runs pretty fast. Use this key when you're ready to ride.
Oh, thank you. I have a gift for you too, of sorts. I made lots of friends while I was oglopped, and one of the little fellows has big dreams for traveling the world. Take him along on your adventures. He'll be a fantastic company. My own Oglop buddy? Oh no.
You're right to be wary. Like I told you, those little devils are harbingers of death and disease.
Oh, they're no such thing. Oglops are harmless, not to mention cute as Chechenius Button.
Right. Well, it's your funeral. Keep it where you can see it, or stow it away in your pack. Speaking of companions, I wonder where that gentleman fop and Nashu disappeared to. Not that I'm worried or anything, but I owe them a tip of the hat at the very least. Anyhow, Nashu and me are gonna get back to running our detective agency here in Solution 9. Hopefully we'll cross paths again on some other case. Our time together in the great alleyway of life was brief but golden, like the richest, yellowest of yolk. See you around, Losira.
Alright, quest stuff. There's our key for our Night Stallion. Yep, we got a bike. And an Oglop. A dubious thing to get. But I don't know, they're kind of cute. Ooh, and some music. Fulper of Inquiry or Equestrian Roll. Awesome. Let's see. With the completion of Inconceivably Further Hildibrand Adventures, you can now exchange MGP for a new orchestrion role by speaking with the Gold Saucer attendant at the Gold Saucer. Oh, cool. More goodies.
His trail had evaporated like mist in the neon haze. The city carried on, uncarried. I fell into a familiar humdrum rhythm. My world's gone curiously quiet. There was a gnawing absence of irritating yet endearing whimsy. But that's life, ain't it? No such thing as... Let me leave you a few words of wisdom. It ain't tough, it ain't boiled enough, but sometimes a man needs to be gentle.
Who are you talking to, detective? Hildibrand will return. There we go. Bugs. Okay. Well, that looks like we're caught up with Hildibrand now. No more Hildibrand until 8.0. I wonder where he might have disappeared to. I wonder. Well, anyway, I'm not going to make any guesses right now. First, let's see what we got. Oprah Inquiry. What's that? Oglop. We have a Night Stallion. Okay, let's take a look at our bug. There we go. The oglop. It's a variety of insect that has existed in the ninth since ancient times. While considered a noxious pest in urban centers such as Everkeep, it is viewed with more leniency by folk in the countryside who prize the rare oil that can be harvested from its glossy wings. Okay, come to me, oglop. There we go. It's actually pretty small. Wow. Okay. Let's try this. got a bike. We gotta use this bike somewhere. Where did we put it? Okay, time to use the bike. Where are you? Ah, here it is. Night Stallion. Okay, enough of that. Oh, I almost forgot. Shoot, which setting is it? I want to see if this mount has any music. Its own music. Let's see. Let's try system setting. Oh, I think this is it. That's not anything special. Okay, let's go with it for now. Okay, I think that's gonna do it right there. So, if you've come along with me on this extended journey today, thank you so much. Whether you watched live or if you're watching in the VOD that I'm gonna post on YouTube a little bit later. That was a lot of fun. I wasn't expecting to get such a challenging duty in the middle of a Manderville quest. I'm not unhappy about it. Just wasn't expecting that. Well, at least I didn't have to set it to very easy to get past it. Yeah. Yeah, there won't be any statics calling my number anytime soon for battle. So, anyhow, I think I'm going to go ahead and end my stream right there. So again, thank you for coming along. I wonder where we'll see our favorite detective next. The inspector seemed to have disappeared through a rift into somewhere. I hope he took some warm clothing. So until next time. Bye-bye.